Red One is out in theaters now. I apologize if this is a late review. This is a Christmas themed movie starring Dwayne Johnson, J.K. Simmons, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu. After Santa Claus, codenamed Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter in a globetrotting, action packed mission to save Christmas. I saw the reviews for this thing, and for some reason, I decided to go see it because I was like, I need to see what this latest Dwayne Johnson project is like. And while I do think it is slightly better than what critics are saying, and I am tempted to give it a bit of a higher score than what I'm actually going to give, I just can't do that. And I'll explain the reason why. That reason isn't because of the really shoddy CGI, which looks really Matrix Reloaded balloon people-ish here in 2024. How come we have this type of CGI in 2024? Give the CGI artists enough time to make the visual effects for the movie. But I already understand that some people are going to be like, well, that's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is that it's supposed to be a buddy team up. And yeah, I get that. But I'm also kind of concerned about Chris Evans' career post Endgame because I'm not really a big fan of the roles he's taking on, because every role he just seems to be playing the same guy now, just some bumbling idiot. And that's what he is in this movie. He's either that or a cartoony guy like he was in The Gray Man. I don't know. I feel like Chris Evans is above that. And so taking a role like this, making him look stupid again after he had spent a decade playing Captain America, it just feels really weird to me. But I know that people are also going to like this too because it is a Christmas movie. And right after Halloween, people tend to skip Thanksgiving and just go straight into the Christmas season. For me, maybe that's why I didn't really resonate with this movie, because I'm like, we still got a month and a half to go until Christmas. Like, can we lay off of this already? Like, too early for a Christmas movie. And maybe that's my whole mindset with this. I did like J.K. Simmons as Santa. I liked the inner workings of the North Pole in this. Some of it, I think, it has way too much lore going on, where I feel like it's lore you would leave for a sequel instead of just dropping everything in the first movie. And trying to keep up with what's is a bit of a head scratcher and a bit confusing because you get so many lore dumps on the screen all at the same time. So when you're trying to keep track of who is who, you really have to think about which faction is which, because each faction in this movie has abbreviations. So trying to remember what each of those abbreviations is a little wonky at times. I also thought the action scenes in this movie were pretty terrible. This is directed by Jake Kasdan, who directed the last two Jumanji movies. And I thought that he had a lot more energy and spark and had the action in camera in those movies compared to this. In here, it's a lot of quick cutting, a lot of weird camera angles, a lot of what looks like fast slow-mo, where it looks like the characters are just fizzling out of the frame. I'm not a big fan of that type of action. So I wasn't even unraveled in the entire action plot of this movie. But when the movie uses costumes and practical sets and effects to its benefit, there's stunt work that is actually in camera, I think it actually does a really good job at that. And I really wanted to see the movie have more of that compared to the rest of the CGI Matrix Reloaded balloon people that looks like it's filmed in front of a giant green screen. But with all those shortcomings, the movie cost $250 million. Where did that money go? I bet all of that budget went to Dwayne Johnson. And here is why, even despite all those criticisms that I had, I could have probably went a little bit higher and at least said, maybe I had some fun with the movie, even though I wasn't in the Christmas spirit for a Christmas movie right now before Thanksgiving. And it's Dwayne Johnson. This is just another ego project for Dwayne Johnson. It's clearly my previous attempts to be in a movie, in a franchise, or to start a franchise, they haven't worked. So here's this one. And I'm throwing it in your face like I am with all those other ones. And that's really bothersome with Dwayne Johnson right now. It's just a giant give me attention type of movie where he's starring in it and he's produced it. That whole quote where he was in the theater, sat in the same seat as Nolan watching Oppenheimer and said, I can do that. No. Really what it comes down to is I can't give this movie higher props because Dwayne Johnson is in it and his ego is so inflated that it's just an attention-seeking project. I think Red One is worth watching if you like stale popcorn. You gotta be in the right Christmassy mood, and I wasn't for this movie, but you also If you're a fan of Dwayne Johnson, you'll probably like it. I know you have to separate the art from the artist, but the ego is just too inflated for me to actually enjoy something Dwayne Johnson makes anymore. So if you guys have seen Red One, let me know what you think of it in the comments section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.